What exactly makes ultra-processed food so unhealthy? Processed versus ultra-processed? What counts as ultra-processed food? I'm sure you've seen this book over the last couple of years. I read through this not long ago, and I didn't agree with a lot of the fundamental aspects of what the author argues. But if you are someone who's trying to cut out ultra-processed food from your diet, someone looking to live a healthier life, someone looking to put on more muscle, someone looking to have clearer skin, someone looking to have a healthier gut microbiome, and a healthier relationship with food, this book does outline some of the most crucial and cruel things that the ultra-processed food market has done to keep you consuming their products. Which proves to an extent it's not really your fault that you're struggling to switch to a clean diet. My name is Jonathan Surtees. Please like and subscribe to this video. I'm not trying to sell you anything at all. I've got a Discord community in the description. Please join that if you want to be around like-minded people. What is UPF? Let's say it's something that is made for mass distribution and mass consumption without actually having any interest in your nutrition or how well you are actually doing. Let's say it's something with a long ingredient list with artificial ingredients and things that you wouldn't usually have in your cupboard. These include food dyes, these include preservatives, these include, other stuff like, I don't know, like modified inverted starch and whatnot. Like, these things just aren't even real, which are actually in all too many of the products that we have in our houses. The first thing that you need to know about ultra-processed food is that the people who are making it are very particular with how they appear to you and how they are advertised. For example, when you were younger, right, you probably had some sort of cereal, maybe it was Lucky Charms or Cocoa Pops or something like that. These companies intentionally market it to you as a kid. You grow up eating ultra-processed foods, and then you are a teenager, and then, there's no community centres anymore, so what are you going to do after school? Or you do what everyone else does. You go to McDonald's. McDonald's has become a social area. Then you go to your first job. What do you do in between? You go to McDonald's for your break. Or what do? You go to, I don't know, KFC. You go to Subway, which is very viewed as like a healthy option. Ultra-processed food does its very best to try and implement itself into every part of your life, every stage of your life. When you're a kid, it's through cereals. It's maybe even through the stuff that you get from public institutions. The government has failed you in terms of a lot of ultra-processed foods finds its way in hospitals, finds its way in colleges, finds its way in schools. You grow up expecting ultra-processed foods, and then when you get older and you realize it's not good for you, then you realize, oh, it's actually really difficult to try and buck a trend that I've been doing for almost 20 years. And then when people in general started to realize that ultra-processed food actually wasn't good for them at all, they started saying, oh, but our cereals is fortified with vitamins and minerals. Oh, it's got some vitamins, isn't it, mate? It's not that bad. It's not that bad, bro, I swear. And then they started putting together these studies. They started to fund these companies and fund these labs that would actually augment all of these scientific studies to actually say, oh no, actually Coke isn't that bad, cereal isn't that bad. And the convenience of these foods become addictive. The actual taste of these foods are designed to be addicted. They're designed to make you buy it again. And then it becomes normalized. It's normalized to eat ultra-processed foods. It's what everyone does. Even down to the fact that, and you'll notice this as well, ultra-processed foods, especially ones that you get from the restaurant, they're all soft. You go to like an actual burger place and you eat a burger, like a real one, and the burger itself is actually, it's not hard, but it's got some texture to it. Maybe the bun's actually hard because they actually cooked the bun, like they actually made it, they baked it like a normal human being. Whereas you go to McDonald's, the bun is soft as anything, the bun is like a cake. The burger is like almost non-existent, it's just like some kind of textureless brown patty that you can't really describe. That's done on purpose as well. Even down to the texture of the burger, if it's soft, it's probably an ultra-processed food. Subway's soft, all the ingredients in there, it's all soft. McDonald's, all soft. KFC, all soft. Everything. They do this so that you're able to buy more of it. You don't have to spend any time actually, ingesting it, because it's not even reaching your stomach by the time that you're already grabbing the second one, because your body hasn't even registered that you've eaten it yet. This, and also the fact that these things seemingly are so high in calories, but there's almost no nutritional value in them. And your body realizes this, and it says, hey, I know that we just ate this buck worth of burger, but there's no nutrition in it because it's made out of paper. There's no nutrition in there. So we need more, we need to eat even more. This is why we're actually seeing the surprising results that, at least in the UK, a lot of people are overweight, a lot of people are obese, but they're actually also undernourished. They're also malnourished because they're not getting any nutrition from a lot of these ultra-processed foods, and it's not their fault. The government and the system have failed us. The government isn't regulating all of these ultra-processed foods. They're not putting labels and making it obvious that which ones are healthy and which ones aren't healthy. So people have to try and decide it for themselves. And while someone's working a full-time job, 45 hours a week, they don't have the time in order to look at all the scientific studies on which ingredients is good. They probably don't even have the time to actually look at the back of the ingredients when they go into the supermarket. This brings me on to my next point, is I talked to you about it comes, UPF is in every stages of our lives, but UPF is in every place of our lives as well. You go to a petrol station, there's going to be UPF in there, there's like a rollover hot dog or something. You go into the town square. You tell me, the town square that's closest to you, or the city square that's closest to you, right? Close your eyes and imagine where you are. Okay, there's like an intersection, there's loads of people running around, there's loads of people walking around, everyone's on their phone, right? Imagine the shops there, okay? If you're in London, there's going to be like a lot of candy shops and a lot of these fake like money laundering shops, right? Imagine how many grocery stores are there, how many supermarkets are there? Maybe there's a Tesco's local, maybe there's a Sainsbury's local. There's definitely a McDonald's though, isn't there? There's definitely a McDonald's, there's definitely a KFC. There's definitely a Domino's or a Pizza Hut. They understand the power of just being there when someone's tired, when someone's run down, when someone had a long day at work. They understand exactly how to be just the right amount of predatory. It's extremely difficult for you to cut out all ultra-processed foods altogether, and it's been designed that way. It's not your fault that you're finding it really hard. It's not your fault that all of a sudden you just seem to be seeing ultra-processed foods everywhere you look and you didn't realize that before. That's not your fault. I wouldn't suggest that if you're trying to have a no UPF diet that you just completely go cold turkey and you completely cut all of them out. That's going to become not sustainable for you. You're going to have to slowly but surely take yourself off of that path, whether that be going from Cadbury's chocolate bars to the Kind bars, like the ones that have nuts in them and whatnot. Whether it's going from that to that, that's still a lot better. Some people would still argue that the Kind bars are ultra processed. I probably would myself, but there's levels to this game. Then once you've done the Kind bars, maybe you say, oh, I actually like the Kind bars with the salt on them, but they don't do the ones with salt with the ones with the almonds. I know I'm going to actually try and make one myself, when you have the time, of course. As well as taking personal action, this is one of the things that I disagreed with in this book, is that they don't talk about taking personal action enough. They talk about taking action against the government and against these companies. But they don't talk about taking personal action enough. Yes, obviously try and have the least amount of UPF that you can. I would suggest also, if you're just grazing throughout the day, maybe try and just have another meal in there. That means you're probably going to have less UPF food, and you're probably going to also have less calories because you're just grazing constantly. Like, you actually don't even realize how much like chocolate buttons or some like bar of chocolate actually adds up to over time. But in addition to this, what I would really love to see is some sort of movement within the UK where we all point at the food regulatory people and say, hey, listen, we're not going to get UPF out of this country. That's not going to happen. The grenade bars are going to stay here. Joe Wick, the killer bar, that's going to stay here. All these things are going to say McDonald's not going to leave. But we should be able to educate more people on why they shouldn't have so much of this, but more importantly, how they can get away from it, and also provide some sort of financial aid to people who are trying to improve their diet and try to improve their health. Truth is at this point in the country, it seems as though there's a lot of things that take priority to this. Fair enough, but maybe at some point we can try and improve our diet as a country, and we can try to become independent from these companies that are trying to brainwash us into thinking that these food that aren't real, this food that is soft, this food that doesn't really taste like anything other than like satisfaction, and break free from the cage of UPF that they have put us in. Thank you for watching this video.